Guys, in this tutorial, we are going to learn RoomDatabase. RoomDatabase provides persistent storage in Android. So we are going to implement a RoomDatabase, have LiveData and ViewModel. The LiveData enables us to update UI when any change occurs in the database, whereas a ViewModel helps in updating the UI. So as you can see in the application, we have the button Add New User, and when I say test user and I say add, it's added and displayed automatically. So when I add another user, test 3, I click the button add. I don't need to refresh, but it's added automatically. So you're going to see how this process happens. And our first thing that we're going to do is to add the dependency library. I'm going to start with the room dependency. And then I'm going to add lifecycle dependency. I only need ViewModel and LiveData. I'm going to sync my project, create a new class that is going to act as model, user. I'm going to name it as users, annotate it as entity, which is going to act as my table. The table name, I'm going to name it as users. Within the table users, I'm going to have private int ID, and I'm going to have private string username. So this one is a primary key. Primary key, how to generate should be true. This one at column info name, I'm going to give it username. After that, I'm going to create DAO, which provides me with method of accessing my database. So I'm going to say user DAO, users DAO. It's an interface, and I'm going to annotate it as DAO. You can have as many methods, that is insert, update, delete, or select, but for now I'm going to have at insert, and I'm going to insert, so void insert users, and I'm going to insert my users, and then I'm going to have a query whereby I'm going to select all from users, and I'm going to return a LiveData with a list of users. Get all users. After this, I'm going to create my database. It's an abstract and should extend RoomDatabase. I'm going to annotate it as database. I'm going to pass my entities. I only have one, which is users dot class. I'm going to pass version as 1, and I'm going to give export false. Within the database class, I'm going to have public abstract, my users DAO, user DAO, and I'm going to have public static volatile instance. Volatile database instance. Then I'm going to have static database, get database, and I'm going to pass context on it. I'm going to check if my instance equal to null. Then I'm going to synchronize my database. If my instance equal to null, I'm going to say instance equals to loom dot database builder, where I'm going to pass context, my database class, and then users dot db, and then I'm going to build. This is the name of my database. Then I'm going to return my instance. From there, I'm going to create, since there is, okay, I'm going to create my Loom database. I'm going to create my repository, users repository. So within the repository, I'm going to have private users DAO. This helps me to access the methods that are in the DAO. So users DAO, a private database, and I have private LiveData list users list. I'm going to generate a constructor, and within the constructor I'm going to have my database is equals to new database, let me pass application here, and then I'm going to pass it here. Then my user DAO is equals to database dot user DAO, and then I'm going to have my user list is equals to user DAO dot get all users. I'm going to have two methods. The first method will be public LiveData, which is going to give me a list of users, get all users, and then I'm going to return my users DAO dot get all users. Then I'm going to have another public void insert users, and here I'm going to pass final users new async task, which I'm going to pass void dot execute, and I'm going to implement a method doing the background, and in the background I'm going to say my database dot user DAO dot insert users. So I have my two methods. So I'm going to create my view model, and I'm going to extend Android view model. I'm going to generate a constructor, and within the view model I'm going to have my repository, and I'm going to have my live data, user list. Then I'm going to have my user repository is equals to new user repository, and I'm going to say application, and then my user list is going to be users repository dot get all users. I'm going to have my method that returns all the users, LiveData, a list of users, get all users, and here I'm going to return user repository dot get all users. I'm going to have another method, public void insert users, and I'm going to have users, and I'm going to have my repository dot insert user. So my view model is set. On my main activity, I can learn this one so that we can see what we have first. I'm sure it will overwrite this one. I should install this one actually. Cannot provide. Okay, let me generate getters and setters here. And then I'm going to remove this one. Okay, so let me learn my app. As the app is learning, I'll have my view model here. View model, user view model, and my view model user view model dot is equals to view model providers. Here I forgot to add one dependency, which is called lifecycle extension, this one, which gives me this method view model providers dot of this dot get my class, which is view model dot class. Then I'm going to have user view model dot I'm going to get all users dot observe this new observer, and it's going to give me a list of all users. So I'm going to have my RecyclerView here, where I'm going to display my data, app content, and I'm going to give it a margin of 10. The ID will be RecyclerView. Then I'm going to have a button, match parent, lab content, background color, I'm going to give it primary, and the ID, I'm going to say button, new user. I'm going to align it bottom, parent bottom, true, and the text should be new user. The text color, I'm going to give it white. The margin, let me leave it with the color white. So as you can see, I'm going to learn once more and see what we have. Galado build, learning, installing the application, launching the application. There we have our button, new user. Let me give it a margin of 2 pip. Then I'm going to have my low users that will help me display my users. So I'm going to say low users. Within the row users, let me use relative layout. I'll have a text view, lab content, ID. I'm going to say users low, and I'm going to give it a padding of 10 and size of 14. Text, I'm going to give it a Richard for testing. So I'm going to create my adapter for the RecyclerView. Users adapter, which extends RecyclerView dot adapter. Then we have users adapter beholder. I'm going to create this class, implement the methods. I also implement the method here and generate constructor. So I have my list of users that I want to display, private list users list, and I have context, private context. So I'm going to write another method, public void set data, which is going to have a list of users. So we'll have this user list is equal to user list. Then I'm going to define set data change. I'm going to generate a constructor. Actually, my constructor should be empty because I'm going to set data using method set data. So I'm going to have my context here is equals to parent.get context new user adapter dot user adapter beholder new linear layout manager dot from should be linear layout manager linear inflator, sorry. Should be linear layout new layout inflator dot from context dot from this dot inflate, sorry, no, is open dot from our context dot inflate, that is dot from this. Now it should be layout inflator from this dot inflate all dot layout dot low users. I'm going to pass the root as false. This should be context. Our layout, that is low users. I'm not sure when, but I'm sure when I learn it will be able to sync and find it. So I have my text view here, text view users, and I have users is equal to item view dot find view by id all dot id dot users. Let's see what we have. Low users, ID is users low. Then within the get item count, I'm going to return my list dot size. And then I'm going to have users is equals to my list dot get position. String username is users dot get username. And then I'm going to have my holder dot users dot set text username dot username. Actually, so I'm going to have my text view user, which I'm going to set the text as users. So let me learn so that we can be able to sync. Then I'm going to go to my main activity. So we have a problem here. No suitable method for inflator, boolean, false. Out should be null. Okay, so let me learn and see what we have. It is installing the application. So back to my main activity, I'll have users adapter. Remember, I have my RecyclerView. So within my user adapter, I'm going to have users adapter is equals to new user adapter. My RecyclerView is equals to find view by ID, al.id.RecyclerView. RecyclerView dot add decoration, new divider. Then I'm going to pass context base and divider vertical. Then I'm going to linear RecyclerView dot set layout manager, new linear layout manager, context should be this. And then within the method here, if users dot size is greater than 0, I'll have to populate my RecyclerView. So users adapter dot set data users, and then RecyclerView dot set adapter users adapter. So let's learn off and see what we have. Okay, so now we are going to add a view that will allow us to populate the data. So I'm going to have public void add users, and I'm going to pass context. So I'm going to have alert build dialog dot builder is equals to new alert dialog builder. I'm going to give this is the context. Then I'm going to have my view v1, which will be get layout inflator dot inflate al dot layout dot. Let me create a new layout for adding user. I'm going to call it low add users. Within it, I'm going to use linear layout. We'll have a text view, lack content, and the text should be add users. Below it, I'm going to have edit text, match parent, lack content. I'm going to give it top margin of 20, start margin of 30, end margin of 30, bottom I'm going to give it 20, hint I'm going to give it username, I'm going to center this one, so I'm going to have gravity center horizontal. Orientation should be vertical. So this one should have layout gravity center horizontal, and then I'm going to give it top 10. Size, I'm going to give it 16, and color, I'm going to give it primary dark. We have our username here, ID, I'm going to give it id users. Then I'm going to have my button. My button, I'm going to match parent, lab content, background color, I'm going to give it primary color. Text color, I'm going to give it white. And I'm going to give it a margin of 30. And the text should be add. And I'm going to give it ID of button, add user. Back to my main activity. So I'm going to have low, add users, and I'm going to attach it first. Don't know why it's not syncing, but I'm sure when I learn it will sync. Then I'm going to have my edit text, my button, add user, which will be v1.get find view by id al.id.button. And see what I called it, button add user. When you click this one, dot set, on click listener, new view, on click listener, I'm going to have now my edit text users, which will be v1 dot find view by id al.id.id users. Then I'm going to have my request here, so I'm going to have users is equals to new users set text, set username, id users get text dot to string. Then I'm going to insert the users by saying my view model users view model dot insert users. Then I'm going to have my builder dot set view, my view one, and I'm going to have alert dialog. Alert dialog is equals to builder dot create. Then alert dialog dot show. So when I click the button, I should be able to. Oh, there is another button here. Let me see. Button new user. So I have a button new user. Let me find it. Button new user is equals to find view by id al.id.button new user. And when I click it, button new user dot set. On click listener, new view. On click listener, I'm going to open add user, and I'm going to pass context as main activity dot is. So let's learn our app and see what we have here. Now there is a problem. We cannot find low add users. Let's see, we have low add users. It's users. Okay. Let's learn now and see what we have. There is mismatch. We have, it should be null. Attach root. We have null. Installing the application. Launching application. So when I click add users, the username, I'm going to give it test3. Let's see, test3 there, and I give it test5. Test5 is there, and I give it Richard. Richard is there without having to reload my application. So that's all, guys. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, remember to subscribe for more tutorials.